Hi, I'm Sallitine, and welcome to me no bonusing this throne stage with every single tribe. Well, yeah, every single tribe. And then we'll do some extra bonus ones afterwards, just because. And this is in no particular order, so we're going to start off with Tough. Although you've already seen me use Tough, the only difference is this time I'm using Tamonta and Ren because I got his Fever Fill skill, and I just wanted to use him. So I'm going to take this time to show why this throne is actually so difficult. You see, if you just look at the stats, 1.4 million HP, not even 2,000 damage normals or counterattack, it's not that difficult of a stage. However, it's the damage balls, and as you can see, there's a ton of them on screen right now. The reason that it's so difficult is because these damage balls just don't stop spawning. They just keep coming over and over and over again. And this is after I have a seal that reduces their spawn rate, by the way. So, yeah, not very good. And I don't have triple OPC, so this actually took me a couple of attempts to figure out the good team setup because I didn't want to use this setup at first, but I ended up just going with it just because why not? So yeah, we'll just go through this, big damage, big stuff. Having Soultimates like Tap Inflators even, EX Poppers, Inflate 4s really helps to deal with the damage balls because you can't pop them all. You just can't. And if you say you can, you're just lying. I don't know why you're doing that. It's a children's mobile game. Get over yourself. Next up, we have Slippery. Now, Slippery actually has an advantage in this stage because since the throne is charming, they end up doing increased damage compared to everybody else, which is also a disadvantage for tribes like Shady and Eerie, so they'll look a lot worse than they actually are, and Slippery and Mysterious will look a lot better than they actually are. I don't know the exact, difference that a tribe advantage makes, but it is pretty noticeable, so yeah, as you can see, 85k on a regular EX Popper's Ultimate. If they get like 300k, then yeah. Oh yeah, 340k. Yeah, that's a big difference. That is a massive difference. Like, seriously. So I'm using Mercury Death instead of low tier Shoe because, well, honestly, this team is way easier to use without low tier Shoe. Technically, it's better with low tier Shoe, but because I don't only have them that's Ultimate 4, and I just find Mercury Death way easier to use, I decided to use them instead. So, pretty simple. Slippery is very chainable with Mercury Death on the team. So, yeah. And because they hit just so hard, we are, yeah, 1.52 million. That's crazy. And they can still do more because they just have so much HP now. Next up, we have the Enma tribe. Yep, I can do it with the Enma tribe. And because I don't have New Year's Kyra and I'm instead running God of Armor Fudoma, it is way more difficult and is easily the hardest one I've ever had to do. So, the reason it's so difficult is because, well, I don't have a fast fever. New Year's Kyra is the only Enma character to have fast fever. Even bringing Boso Enma, I can't get into fever time fast enough. And I don't want to bring, Ramp... Was he called Goku Enma? Yeah, Goku Enma, Rinma. I don't want to bring them instead of, Yasha Enma because I don't want to deal with the hard to get EX pop. And the reason I brought Yasha Enma instead of Jane is just because, it's so hard to tell the difference between Bridal Jane and normal Jane. So even though Bridal Jane is only buffing herself, she's LB10, so I can still hit hard enough. So the whole strategy I was trying to do is basically refresh everybody's Soultimate, including Bridal Jane, Oni Enma, and God of Armor Fudoma with Boso Enma. So I don't get the G Soultimate with God of Armor Fudoma, and thank God it didn't matter. So, yeah, we do another Oni King Enma Ultimate. Then we'll do another Jane's Ultimate. And then we'll just just barely be able to kill. And when I mean just barely, I mean, look at this. She's got around 120 million HP. No, 120,000. We deal 130,000. Actually, she might have been more towards 130,000. Next up, we have Eerie, including the new and beautiful. Well, not beautiful. I'm not a BD fan, but whatever. We have everybody's baby BD, and the reason that everybody likes him so much is because he hits big numbers. Ooh, but he takes away Izana, who is both a revive and a inflate 4 and drop bait character. So I've actually beaten it with Izana before I got it with BD. So that just shows how insane the damage balls are because BD couldn't do it. But I ended up doing it with BD because, they're pretty insane. So as you can see, even with Tribe Disadvantage, they still did over 300k in 2 Soultimates. That's just the power of Jingi's Soultimates. So after we do a BD, then we'll do a Taicho Ray at 700k. Then we're trying to get enough Soultimates so we can use Arachnus, who mine's LB10, so He hits a little bit harder than he should, but whatever, who cares. Then we do EX Pop Marine, then we do BD, and then I don't remember if we do it in Fever Time to finish. Oh, we don't even need to. That's just how hard they hit. And the power of LB10 Arachnus, I guess. Cool. Next up is the Heartful Tribe, and I actually brought Agatha instead of Noelle because, well, I like it better with Noelle, but however, since I don't have Doll U, it's not as good as I wanted to. So yeah, this team can actually get better, and I still did it with Heartful. This was the first one that I did it with. I did it first try, and before I got the Damage Ball seal, which you might be able to tell because there's already a ton of Damage Balls on the screen. So the whole strategy that I went with this is deciding to use Agatha's Soultimate spam a ton. I actually managed to get enough Orihime Natsuyomis in order to do a ton of Agathas. Since she is a Fever Power character, she hits harder than Santa Natsuyomi does. And since she's also LB10, we can hit pretty friggin' hard. So, yeah. Look at all the damage balls. It's insane. Like, actually insane how many damage balls there are on the screen. And we still did this first try because it's just that good. A lot of people underrate Heartful because since you need 2 Nyambo characters, most people don't have them. And apparently even the JP players who do have them just doesn't realize what they can do. I think Heartful is a pretty good tribe. They're not as good as they're not like as... They're still really good. They're just as good as when they were the best tribe in the game. It's just other tribes have sort of caught up and maybe even surpassed them. Next up we have Charming, and Charming is pretty fun now that I have the Nyambo character. So the reason they're so good is because they have 3 Unity bonuses, 2 of which being UZ ranks, and they have 4 total UZs on the team, so that's a lot of stats. And they also have 2 Fast Fevers, because why not? The only thing they're missing is like a Revive, maybe a Guard if you're that greedy. But yeah, so basically the whole strategy is get in Fever Time, EX Pop, then we'll do Shuka, eventually. I'm trying to make sure I have enough Sultimates for a Komaki Komami, but because I'm bad, it doesn't really work out too well. Whatever. So then we get a Komaki Komami, link enough for a Shuka. So we use Elzemekia to get Komaki's Soultimate because she isn't actually fast enough to get her own Soultimate by herself consistently. So, yeah. Then we can do a Shuka Soultimate, then we'll do probably a Fumi Soultimate. Yeah. So do Fumi Soultimate, then might just finish it off with Komaki in Fever Time. Yeah, because why not? So yeah, they're pretty good. Pretty good, yeah. They can hit very hard. I mean, what else do you want me to say? Next up is the Mysterious Tribe, and they are the second team to have a tribe advantage, meaning that they will do a little bit more damage than they should. I don't know the exact change, and I'm too lazy to go check it. But there is a difference. I'll point it out later. Eventually, yeah. So, since I don't have Ichika, and since, well, even if I did have Mika, who would be a better EX popper than Suzaku, she would have a bonus to the throne. I can't use either of them. So I have to use regular Suzaku, and since I'm not a nerd, I'm not going to use Blue Sky Helmet Suzaku and waste an Okayu Ultimate. So it's just standard Mysterious stuff. They kind of just go crazy. Even with the damage balls, I couldn't do it with them with the seal because they just don't have the Soultimates to do that. And I'm not a nerd who uses Miradox. I'm not, I hate Miradox. I hate his design. I think his kit is very mediocre at best because I would rather run Rene, or the Tap Inflator Ren that can pop heal, Subaru, a freaking, what's that other character? There's a bunch of other characters I would rather run instead of Miradox because, the only character you would replace with Miradox is Arle because you don't have Arle, but there are other characters that would just be better. But yeah, 1.62 million, insane, pretty nice. This is the first time that it's actually taken more than 2 attempts for me to beat a throne with Brave, and this is the only time I would ever recommend actually bringing a pre-fill Ultimate fill. Just because of the damage balls. That's how insane they are. They don't have link big characters. They don't have drop big characters. So, all of these damage balls that just don't stop spawning, they're going to get in the way. So, it's the standard Brave stuff, honestly. A lot of people, hate Brave, so they don't want to say they're the best team in the game, which I don't think they are anymore. Because I think Shady's better, and Shady's just a better Brave. And a lot of people don't want to accept that because of it's one character. Like, literally the only reason that Shady is better than Brave is because of Jane. And a lot of people don't want to, like, say that because, oh, I like flexibility or, oh, I hate Nyanbos. Who cares? No one asked you. No. But anyways, it's standard Brave stuff. It actually takes 4 Soultimates even with my LB10 Megumin because the throne just has that much HP. As you can see, I'm at like half HP even after, like, I'm trying to get in Fever as fast as I can, but there's just so many damage balls that they take away that much HP. So yeah, 1.45 million because of Earthwalker NOA. Pretty cool. I even have an extra Itsuki Soultimate that I just decided to use because why not? And yeah, I think we hit like 1.7 million maybe? Yep, 1.7. Pretty cool. And for the final standard tribe clear, we have Shady. Yeah. I even decided to use Lolita Pecora because honestly I just wanted to. And it ended up helping me not only get Jane's ultimate, but also the second drop bait character helps me deal with the damage balls. That wasn't the intention. I literally just wanted to use Echo for like damage balls. I didn't even realize it was going to help with me with the damage balls, but yeah. I mean, help get Jane, whatever. Speaking of Jane, she also just did the heal, which is pretty cool. I think her heal for this fight specifically out heals a counter, which is pretty cool. So then we'll get a Pekko, then we'll get Suisei, which also I have the Suisei Hollow Unity skill, so Pekko and Suisei do more damage than normal, which is pretty cool. Then we'll do a Hinozul's ultimate, then get a nice guard, because why not? Then we'll get Jane's ultimate to fire. Yeah, pretty cool. 1.6 million, pretty cool. Then we'll do a Galapion. Try to get a second heal. I don't even remember. I do get the second heal. Pretty cool. Then I end up doing a Boso Hinozul. Because they're tribe disadvantage, and Hinozul and Galapion are LB0, by the way, and Jane is only G3. It takes quite a few Soultimates to beat it with them. But, you know, tribe disadvantage, no LBs, no G Soultimates. Yeah, pretty cool. They're pretty good. I love the team now. Alright, so I got a couple of bonus clears for you. First one isn't a clear. Yeah, it's that simple. So I decided to try the whole double fast fever thing for tough. It doesn't really work out as well as you would want it to. So, I don't get the EX popper like as high as it should be. So we only get 129 combos instead of like what it should be. Then we get a Future Rent's ultimate. Because I don't have triple OPC and I instead have to use Jupiter Death, the damage balls are kind of a problem. And this whole like thing is like, oh, you have all these EX poppers, meaning that you can just get through freaking, what's it called? Do multiple fever loops super easily. It's not as easy as you would think. I actually probably could have done an extra Soultimate, a second fever time right here, but because I'm dumb, I decided not to. So, they have, like, a lot of damage. It's pretty cool. So I'm trying to do a second fever time. I ended up getting a second fever time. I do another EX pop, which I should have tried to get a second Ren's ultimate instead of Tamonten Ren. But, like, as you can see, I'm doing my best to pop the damage balls, but there's just so many of them that I can't do it. This doesn't clear, does it? I don't think it does. No, it doesn't, because I run out of Soultimates. Yeah, but we were close. What the heck? Brain rot, 2 screens at once. Hopefully you'll be able to pay attention enough to what I'm saying, which doesn't really matter, because I'm not going to be paying attention either. So on one side, we've got Mercury Asu, and on the other side, we have Low Tier Shu at Soultimate 4 still, because I'm still out of books. So, the whole reason I decided to bring Mercury Asu was because I was doing this when I still didn't have the Damage Ball seal, so I figured, hey, he's useless every other time, why don't I try to make use of him this time? And I actually managed to win with him. And then with Low Tier Shu, I just decided to do both Mercury Death and Low Tier Shu's team, because why not? So, like, it's pretty easy because, you know, tribe advantage. Slippery is a fine team. They're just the least, well, one of the least good. I don't think they are the worst team in the game now because, well, somebody else is taking that spot. They've gotten buffed enough. So, I do think Slippery is pretty good. They're a fine team. And because, tribe advantage, I can win with silly, goofy setups. I almost don't win on the Mercury Asu side, but because I'm good and I got lucky enough, we could finish it off before we die. Pretty cool. Yeah. And finally, here's me winning with Izana because I'm just that good. So I've actually seen like someone, I'm not gonna say who, you probably know who you are. Someone say that tough is better than Eerie. Not even close. Here's them tribe disadvantage with a worse team beating the throne, which I honestly couldn't really do with tough. Granted, I'm missing a whole unity bonus for tough, and if I had that unity bonus and could increase their damage by 10%, it would be pretty easy. But then they would just be at the level of Eerie, which is doing a tribe disadvantage, so yeah. Like, I think, look at that. Slippery's getting like 340k into Soul Ultimates, Eerie's not even getting 300k. Like, yeah. That also just shows you how good BD is, because he was making them do 300k. Purely because of Jengi's ultimate. So yeah, Izana is, he's a good character. It's just BD does so much damage that you can get away with not bringing him. So I use Arachnus again. Mine's OB10, so he's doing more damage than he should, but whatever. So we're getting pretty decent. I actually like spam Izana like more than I normally do, and he's OB0, so he's not hitting very hard at all, and we can still do it because, you know, we're pretty good. And yeah, finish it off with Arachnus. Hope you enjoyed, and yeah, bye, I guess. Alright, breaking news. As I was going to edit this video and was about to publish it, I checked the Puni Discord, which you can find link in the description, by the way. You can get off with your supers if you're good enough, I guess. But anyways, I saw somebody say that the best charming team was the team with no EX popper. Then I saw someone else say that the Fever Extender would actually be the one replaced for Punigami's Women Power skill, because Charming doesn't need a Fever Extender, which, I mean, might be valid. And then I saw somebody say EX poppers are only a 20% increase. So I decided to flex on everybody in this world and beat the stage with no women power, so no bonus, no EX popper, and no fever extender. This only took like 3 tries, by the way, so yeah. I'm very heated because, like, if you're gonna come in here spewing a bunch of nonsense, at least have it be something that's not so easily disprovable. So anyways, this is not the best Charming team in the game, and if this was Charming's best team, Charming would be the worst team in the game. Like, easily. Besides, like, Wicked and Wandroid, obviously. So yeah, as you can see, we've barely done, like, 900k, we've done, like, 9 Soultimates or something. So, it's very difficult to win with this stage, and it's why you should have an EX Popper and a Fever Extender. Also, we dodged the counter here, but because Kokibi has Revive, doesn't matter. So anyways, we win. Don't ever come here. Don't ever show your face around here again. You got me?